Hey folks, welcome to Bud Walton Arena, Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and we're getting ready for my gig. This is the graduation ceremonies in May of 2023 for the University of Arkansas. I've done this show 5 or 6 times now, some in the winter, some in the graduation for spring, summer. And I just want to give you a tour, walk around what the show scope was, and basically if you were here to visit me on site, what I would show you. So here I am up in the bowl, and my main responsibility as far as bringing in gear was hanging this PA, the RCF HDL6As. I've had other videos on the channel that talk about it. It's a pretty similar deployment. We'll go down on the floor and walk through all that first, but I want to give you a sense of the space and what we're covering. In the main bowl are 6 EAW hangs. There's 12 boxes up there that are kind of dividing the bowl into 6. There's upper delay speakers as well. They're going to be setting chairs. As we can see, there's some already down here. There's a wind ensemble. You can see right here at the bottom. They have a choir right over here that's going to be in that shell. And they're going to have, for the last 2 ceremonies, a 5-piece funk band that's going to be over here. That's front of house where my consoles are at. But first, we're going to stay up here, go in the tech booth, and let you see what's going on for the main bowl PA. So I have my system that I'm bringing in with the local event production company and with Walkthroughs Event Production as covering the floor, getting all inputs, and then sending a feed to a analog patch panel back there that's running all the way up to the tech booth, which we're going to walk to in a second. And then that's feeding the house PA, which does the concourse area, as well as the mains and this nice subarray up there as well. So let's walk over to the tech booth. There could be a show around there, and then we'll go down to the floor and walk through that rig. I've actually mixed a few basketball games here too, which has been fun. 19,000 folks here. I guess this is a 19,000 seat venue. So walk around to our tech booth here. We have a Soundcraft VI1. I believe the system was installed by Claire. So kick on the light here. So off that XLR patch panel, there is a patch bay, which I'm routing into this. And I have 2 drive lines. One is a primary and secondary. So if one goes down, I can just fail over. They have duplicate settings right here. This is the house DSP controlling the amps. There's a Lake processor. And what I've done, and the only thing I really changed, is all the boxes that cover behind all of this seating I've turned off because no one's going to sit behind the curtains, so I could have extra. I don't want extra reverberance bouncing all around the venue, right? So I've turned those off, as well as the bottom couple of boxes on, sorry, it's a little bit hard to see, on these basically east and west hangs that would spill and cover the wind ensemble and the seating over there. My floor PA is covering all that. So I've turned those bottom 2 boxes off, just the HF drivers to get that. So that's the main thing I'm doing with the system. And I'm doing the system EQ on my drive line. But anyway, everything's here on the computer if I want to control the concourse volume, the speakers out here, where the concession is, any of the balcony speakers, any of the main PA is all done right there. So I don't have a system processor myself. I'm just driving everything off the matrices on my desk. So I'm a little bit limited there. Hopefully that's going to change next time. But I have to, make the show happen with what I got. I'll show you the patch panel down here, and then we'll go down to the floor. So right here is the patch bay. And I found on this lower part, the south panel, patched it into here, which is XLR lines that come into the desk. And there I have my inputs. And then that feeds out over Dante into their system processor, the Lake, and then dishes it out to all the amps. Okay, let's go down to the floor and we'll check out what's going on down there. So here we are now on the arena floor, same side of the arena we were just on, but now I'm in between this choir riser to give you bearings here, then also where the wind ensemble is going to set up. Then our funk band is over there. So the wind ensemble, I think it's 50 or 60 piece. I got a pair of C414s on a stereo bar right there to mic them up. With the choir, it's a little bit smaller this year. They have a different group, but I have 3 Pro 37s, and we'll see what we can do to capture that well. That's all the height I got in those stands, but I think it's a pretty good setting right here. I've already rung those out. I've actually got 2 consoles since I ran out of outputs on the M32s. The company's Avantis, we don't have a stage box right now. So anyway, here I am on 2 M32s. We'll make it work. So let's go by front of house and we'll circle around and go on stage and show you what the rest of the system is. So yeah, there's the C14s up on, I'm in the ORTF. I'm going to put them in cardioid and those out. I guess ORTF usually uses Omni, but we'll see how it sounds. Anyway, this is where the band's going to be. I have all my stuff, the monitors, cables, all that stuff over here. And it's going to run into this DL32 on the floor. And we'll have them playing. Again, it's a little bit of a challenge since I have this PA up top. So I've killed those bottom 2 boxes. But then I also have my main PA for the floor covering over here. Thankfully, we're far away from it. My main coverage area is where those chairs are going to be, and going back here to basically the edge of the carpet. So that's what we got going on there. The in-house crew is handling all cameras and the live stream cut, but I'm sending them a program feed. But the production company I'm with, this is their projectors, their Truss, all the lights on it. And this is their RCF boxes I have in the air, but I did the design. Ideally, I'd have these a little bit farther inward, but we couldn't do any bridles. So we're just stuck on where the steel is, but it does a good job overall. So walking over here to front of house, this is my band console where the choir, the wind ensemble, as well as the funk band is running in here. And I've got Nick's buses for their monitors. And I'm basically sending stems out into this desk over here, my main desk, or house desk is what I'm calling it. So the band is going to the left-right bus. Then I have the wind ensemble microphones going to a stereo bus, and then my 3 choir microphones going to a stereo bus, feeding them out here into my desk. Sorry for the noise. They're still setting up chairs. But I got 4 channels of RF. I got my podium, primary, and spare, a backup 58, as well as a PC. They scan a little barcode on a card for each student, and it calls out their name. So I get audio from that. That's my choir stem input, another backup 58. And then I have 2 pairs of stereo video playback inputs. And then I got my band stem on the way in. This is my signal generator in from Smaart. And then I have the wind ensemble stem and then my NAP mics, so my room mics basically. I got a few DCAs, ring out buses if I need them. I have 3 foldback buses. So the reader was someone who's going to be right over there reading names just in case the card doesn't work or they don't have a card. So they have a foldback wedge to be able to hear what's going on stage. I also got a downstage foldback and an upstage foldback. And I am also sending 2 separate program feeds to Video World. One is for archival purposes. So it gets everything. Let's say they have a song they necessarily haven't licensed, but they want to be able to hear what happened in the room. We have that. And then I also have royalty-free music playing in tandem. So I have my computer set up to play either coming in on separate inputs, and then dishes it out to the right program. So this is our front of house setup. We have lighting, projection, as well as the robo cam operators up here. They're having a meeting on stage, so let's see how much we can get away with. Try to stay out of their way. Yeah, we'll have front to back all these chairs. So in addition to those HDL6As, I also got a cute little K12 center fill right here, just in the middle, because you're kind of like, feels like you're inside out of the PA if you're this far inward. I've got a K12 front fill right here, and my subs are inverted gradient stack, and I've delayed the rear one. You only got 6 matrices on the M32, and that's where all my processing is going. So all front fills, this one here, as well as that CPA on the front, and the next CPA and the other K12 are on the same drive line. I'll show you upstage. This is my upstage fallback. For those sitting on the very back here, I've got 4 K12s lined up right here. And then I have 2 CP8s, which I'll probably put facing straight backwards that are right here and right here. So if I get up on stage, you'll see this a little bit more with my pair of podium microphones. That's the main show, looking at the floor. Give you a different view of the PA, looking under it. Again, just a single drive line to this, but I was really happy with where things turned out. I just shaped the low end, and I'll show you my Smaart data here at the end. We'll keep walking over this way. We're going to be setting up another table, but this is the reader station. We'll set up a mic stand. This is the DI for the computer. And back here is where most of the cable lands. Don't have much light, I apologize, but this is our 4 channels of wireless and our DL32 for all of those inputs. This is our power distro, and we've got a video rack back here to dish out stuff, but we don't care about that, right? Anyway, then make another circle back around here to front of house and look at the tuning data, and we'll wrap this up. So back here at front of house, I'll show you the Smaart data. I put my microphones on access to the main PA, one at the front row, quarter of the way back, another quarter in the very back. I guess that's thirds. Basically ABCD approach. You've seen other videos and you can see that here. Green is A, orange is B, and I can't think right now. Pink is C and D is yellow. And so this is with no trace offsets right now. So I'm very happy with how they're lining up right here, but we did need to do some low end EQ work with what's going on here. So this is what I end up doing to the PA to counteract that. So if we're bringing up my other traces, again, just a single drive line to the PA. This is what I came up with and where I got things. I chose to leave it a little bit bright in the front, then have it be natural in the back. Just to get clarity back here. And that's where that PA ended up. I accidentally lost the other files where I was doing front fill and center tuning, so I apologize. But again, that was the majority of the PA decisions I made. Across the main left to right, that's feeding all those matrices. I did do a low pass filter. That's why I did at my center fill, front fill, and then sub I left flat. And with the inline gradient, I was able to get some cancellation there. So that's both subs at the rear. And then that was the rear sub and then in front. So I was able to get a good amount of cancellation there. Anyway, that's the rig. Appreciate you hanging out. Catch you next time.